Thank you, everyone, for joining another episode of the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight. I am Dr. Sharon, educator, author, entrepreneur, and speaker, and host and creator of the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight. Before we get started, I do want to say thank you to our official sponsor of the Spotlight, and that is James Adele Custom Clothier, where you will find exquisite fabrics and custom tailoring at an affordable price. And you can find him on Facebook and on Instagram at James Adele CC. So thank you, James Adele, for sponsoring the Spotlight. And so tonight, guys, I'm so excited. I met my guest probably a few months ago, actually. She is an author. She's an inspirational speaker. She is a professional in the mortgage industry. And she's also the CEO and founder of the Walk in Love 2 Creations, which is apparel for women, men, and children. She is also a graduate of Strayer University with a bachelor's in accounting, and she has an executive MBA from the Jack Welch Management Institute. So without further ado, please welcome to the Spotlight, Ms. Sonja Keeve. Welcome, Sonja.
Thank you so much. It is truly my honor to be here with your audience here on Facebook, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. And so I just gave just a little bit about you and who you are, but I absolutely want to give you the opportunity to share a little more about who you are and exactly what it is that you do.
Thank you. Well, the wonderful introduction you gave, I was wondering, wow, she's talking about me. But my name is Sonja Keeve, and like she said, I am the CEO and founder of Walk in Love 2 Creations. And the idea behind the project was that I wanted to change the message of what I was seeing on social media, where folks were disowning one another simply because of their political affiliations. And there was so much negative space that I wanted to fill it with something positive. And the Walk in Love project is out of Ephesians 5:2, where I want to not only encourage people, but to challenge them to walk in love by creating one simple act of kindness and passing it forward. And from that project, I was able to launch my clothing line, Walk in Love 2 Creations Apparel. And when folks purchase the apparel, they are just in a different headspace, I believe, because it just nurtures them and it encourages them to go out in their communities of which they live to walk in love. And so that is kind of how that project came about. And because I'm also an inspirational speaker, it allows me the opportunity to kind of share and encourage women to identify their purpose and unlock their passions. And I do that every day, empowering women to do just that. And the Walk in Love piece just kind of is incorporated in that piece. And so I'm very excited to spearhead that and to be in charge of that. And I'm getting so much positive feedback from women who are walking in love every day. And I believe that when we do that, we can eradicate bigotry that is happening in our neighborhoods, and we can begin to heal from the inside out.
I absolutely love that, and your message is so relevant today. And so I really appreciate that. And I know when I met you, actually, because you're from Richmond, and I met you at a conference in Richmond. And so that really just leads me to my next question, networking. As entrepreneurs, and especially emerging entrepreneurs, because you just recently started this show. So, started your company. So with networking, I'm very big on connecting and networking. How do you decide where you're going? Because one of the things we are not short of is of conferences, right? We're sort of in the same space, and there you can be going to something every weekend.
Yes.
And so as an emerging entrepreneur, how do you really decide, okay, what am I going to participate in?
Very good question. I am very intentional about the conferences that I do attend. When I see folks that have conferences, the first thing I actually do is I research the host of the actual conference, and I look for a mission statement to see if their mission statement they have for their particular conference aligns to my core values for the brand that I am building. Because as you stated, you could fall into the trap of attending so many conferences, but may not have anything to do with your brand. And sometimes if you make that kind of mistake, it can tarnish your brand. Because if I'm out here saying I walk in love out of Ephesians 2, but then attend a sex conference, that may make my readers or my audience send out a mixed message about, well, who am I? So you have to be very intentional, and it starts with researching the mission statement for that particular organization. And if it aligns to my vision and my purpose for who I am and who I am becoming, that's how I decide which conferences to attend.
I really love that, Sonja. I really love that. And so, as you hopefully are aware, the Grind Entrepreneur, we really have a focus on the dualpreneur, the parallelpreneur, those of us who are working a career from 9 to 5. And we find all those other times, whether it's early morning or late nights or evenings, to really go forth and do our grind for our own business. How do you manage it all?
Truly, it is nothing but God. I'm going to tell you that. Because, and honestly, with God and an amazing, amazing support system, my husband and my 2 children, who are both 14 and 16 years old, they absolutely help me in my business. When I come home from my 9 to 5 and I've picked the kids up and gotten dinner prepared, I usually do my best work, usually around between 7 and 10 p.m. at night, where I get to really work my business, get into my office and get into my space and work my business, whether that is doing live Facebook videos, or whether it's writing a new blog, or whether it's writing the new chapter for my next book. I'm very intentional about that, because for me, and it's easy because that truly is what brings me the greatest joy, is working my business around my 9 to 5. So, but I make sure that I have the time with the family as well, because you've got to have that balance. Like, I won't come home and not, ask the kids how their day is, or ask my husband how his day is, because I want them to be included in this process, because even though it's my business, they're there and they're helping me as well. So I want them to feel a part of this process. And I'm also doing it because I want my children to see that, even though I want you to attend college, I also want you to know there are other avenues. And sometimes, and if entrepreneurship is for you, I want to be the one to show them how to do it the correct way. Because believe me, there are many ways you can do this wrong, and it really affect not only your business, but your family life. And I want to have balance with all aspects of my life. And I think when you're very intentional about your time, then your family appreciates what you're doing, and then you can be successful in your business. But if you're selfish about, not spending that proper time with family first, then your business will not survive. So I have a priority system. It's God first, family, and then my business. And because of that, I've been very successful, being so new in the game. But I've done this before, and I'm learning that's not what I want to do. So I'm learning how to do things the proper way, decent and in order. So that's how I decide.
I love it, Sonja. Oh my goodness. And so you mentioned the chapter in your next book. So let's first of all talk about your first book, Women Inspiring Nations, spearheaded by none other than the wonderful Coach Cheryl Wood. So tell us a little bit about the book and your chapter.
Yes, I was so blessed with this opportunity to co-author the anthology Women Inspiring Nations. And my chapter is entitled How I Found My Gifting or Calling Despite Life's Distractions. So it is truly my personal story of how I was able to have my business, tap into my purpose, and realize that I had a story to tell, even though I worked full time, even though I was attending school at night, even though I had a family, because I want to encourage that mom who, maybe deciding to go back to school at night and deciding, is this something I can do? Can I do it? Absolutely. For that wife who, is kind of doing it all and maybe not have the support that they need, I want to encourage them that with proper prayer and just meditation, trust me, your spouse will come around when they see that this is something that matters to you. Then they'll get on board because they want to see you happy. For those moms who are busy and have busy teenagers or busy lives with their children, I can encourage them to let them know I have done it. I am still doing it. And because I've been able to do it, I can show and inspire women how. So I just kind of walk through kind of my trials, because believe me, it wasn't always just lilies and roses. There were times where I had to get down on my knees and I cried and I prayed and I asked God, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing it for the right reason? And when I got still, God spoke to me and he gave me my vision, and that's how Walk in Love 2 Creations came to be. So I have been through it. I got both 2 degrees as a mom and working full time, and I went to school at night and I stayed up till 4 a.m. writing papers. So believe me, I have been through it all and I have been successful at it. And I want to encourage women, this is how I did it, and you can too, but you got to be intentional about this is your time. And when you're ready, you will move because your gifts will make room for you.
Amen. Yes, they will. Absolutely. And so I just love the fact that you are grounded in your faith. It comes out in your conversation. It comes out in your demeanor and everything, and not pushing that on anyone. But I love the fact that it's evident in your walk. So I really can appreciate that. And so you're working on your second book now. And we're actually, before we get to your second book, I know that your first one will be launching in January, very here soon.
Yes.
Will there be live events that people can come to?
Absolutely. The official book launch will be January 6, 2018 in Crystal City, Arlington, Virginia at the Hilton in Arlington, Virginia, January the 6th. And it will be from 11:30 to 1:30. Now, there are tickets for that. So there are limited tickets. So each co-author actually has 4 tickets per author that they will invite. However, I actually will be doing book launches across the United States, and I will have launches in Richmond, Virginia. There will be one in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and another one in Atlanta, Georgia. So be on the lookout for the dates. I'll actually put them on my website. So folks that are in those areas, as the dates are ready, folks can come out to those book launches, and I'll actually autograph a copy for you personally for purchasing the book. And for those that actually pre-order the book, because I actually have that link up, they can pre-order the book on my website at sonjakeeve.com, and that's SONJAKEE, B as in Victor E.com, and you can pre-order your book. And the first 5 people that order a book will actually get a free gift, especially from me.
Oh, that is so awesome. It's very exciting when you first do that publication for the first time.
Yes.
It's really nothing else like it, that feeling that you get when you're published. So congratulations to you, and I look forward to reading that. And so you just gave your website. Are there any social media handles that you would like to give out for if individuals would like to follow you?
Absolutely. I have very easy connection points. On Facebook, you can find me at sonjakeeve.com. On Instagram, you can also find me at Sonja Keeve. On Twitter, it's actually my name backwards. It's Keeve Sonja. And so I'm on, and LinkedIn, you can find me at sonjakeeve.com as well on LinkedIn. So I am all over the place. So I have very easy connection points. And you can always reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to, share anything with folks that want to know more information about who I am and what's happening next for me.
I love it. Thank you so much. And so what would be a message? I work with startup entrepreneurs. That's who my target audience, that's who I work with. And so I always like to hear, especially those of us who are really just starting good, getting in the game, what would be your advice to those who are just in the very early stages of beginning their business?
For those that are really beginning, have a plan. Have almost quarterly plans of what you want to accomplish each quarter. I find that when we plan, every 90 days, it's much easier to set some very realistic goals for what you want to happen in your business. And I would definitely say, because I have come across folks that may be fearful of social media. Social media is your friend. It is the one place where you can reach masses of people at one time and also make some very wonderful connections, as I met Dr. Porter the same way through social media. So it allows you to kind of have a space where, even if you're shy, simply posting your website or posting an inspirational quote, or just posting, hey, this is my new business, check it out. It allows you to kind of do it even if you don't want to put your face out there just yet. But it allows you to just kind of gradually ease into the space and begin to make connections. And the more connections you make and really put yourself out there that this is what you're doing, this is who you want to become, then you begin to connect with people that align to your core values, and then your tribe can begin.
I love it. I love it. You are just so dynamic, and I so appreciate you for taking the time after your long, hard day, I'm sure, in your 9 to 5. But that's what it's all about when you're a dualpreneur.
Yes.
You press on, you grind on, and you keep it moving. So I just so appreciate you for taking the time out to do that.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure.
Absolutely. And guys, I'm just so excited that you have joined us as well. Whether you're joining live or you're catching the replay, I really appreciate it for tuning in with my guest, Ms. Sonja Keeve, who is the CEO and founder of Walking to Love?
Walk in Love, Two Creations.
That's right. Walk in Love, Two Creations.
Yes.
So she has provided her contact information, and I will ask her after we get off to just put it in the comment section as well for those individuals who did not quite catch that. So thank you so much. This is Dr. Sharon, educator, author, entrepreneur, and speaker. This is the Grind Entrepreneur Network Spotlight, where we feature entrepreneurs on their grind. So thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.